I wanted to come on real quick to let everybody know who in Maryland is getting prepared for a inspection or a survey from OHCQ for residential assisted living. I recently went through an inspection, so I'm just trying to give you guys the most updated information, the most updated information. Um, Being as though I went through an inspection with a client who's in my program here in Maryland. So I want to give y'all an update on what to expect. So in the previous video, it's somewhere on the page, I kind of talked about the checklist that they send you prior to the inspection, prior to your home survey, your facility survey. So I already went through that, so I'm not going to cover that. But what I will talk about is what to expect when they get here or they get to your property, and what to expect. What are they going to be looking for? So when they get to your property, first thing they're going to want to do, they're going to go through all the rooms and they're going to lock themselves in the rooms or close the door behind them and make sure that they can get out quickly. So first thing you want to make sure is that you don't have any locks on your doors. And if you do have a lock on any of the bedroom doors, um, she wants to make sure that you can open that door pretty quickly. So so that's the first thing. Obviously, you got to have the furnishings, which is the bed, the dresser, the nightstand, the lamp, the chairs for each resident. So in each room, there has to be. So if you have a semi-private, it has to be two of each, two twin beds, two lamps, two nightstands, two dressers, two chairs. And also inside the nightstand or the dresser, you have to mount they're looking for a mounted lockbox. So a mounted lockbox with a key. So either you can mount it through screws. What my coaching client did was gorilla glued it. So it was easier to gorilla glue the lockbox to the top drawer of the nightstand. So so it can open up in the nightstand and she can have a lockbox, because they want to make sure that the residents can has a safe place to put their valuables, whether that's jewelry and stuff like that. And it has to have a key and a lock, and it can't be moved, so somebody can't just take the whole lockbox. Another thing that they're going to look for are alarms on the windows and the doors that go to outside, and the windows that lead to outside. So you want to make sure you have alarms on every window that goes outside, and then the front door. In the bathrooms, they're going to look for um, grab bars, the toilet thing, the toilet. Uh, you guys know what I'm talking about, like the toilet uh, stand that they can hold on to with the two bars, the toilet stand, a grab bar, and then definitely grab bars in the shower in the tub area, and then the shower chair. So that's what they look for in the bathroom. Again, the door had to have no locks on it on the bathroom door, and it has to say restroom. You want to have you have to have a sign that says restroom on the door. Your fire extinguisher, you got to have an up to date fire extinguisher with the date that it was purchased. So you just can you can put the receipt on there. You can kind of tape the receipt to it, or have the little tab that you putting the dates on it. They prefer the that you tape the receipt to it, or have the receipt attached to the fire extinguisher. And then you want to get a fire extinguisher sign that goes over top of your fire extinguisher, a big red sign that says fire extinguisher. They want to have quite a few things posted, and I think we covered that in the previous video about the documentation that you want to have posted. They want to make sure that you have I'm going off the top of my head. I didn't think about this, but they want to have residence abuse sign for, in case they feel abused and stuff like that. They got to have the police information. So the residence abuse form is, they have one that you could just Google for Maryland. Put residence abuse form Maryland, and it'll come right up, and you can just download the PDF. They want to have that hanging up. They want to have all the emergency numbers hanging up. Your utilities company's phone number, the police department, poison control, animal control. That's on one. That's one sign that they want to have posted. What other sign that I can think of real quick that they want to have posted? The residence rights, the residence abuse, the emergency contact numbers, and I think that's all that I can think of right on top of my head. But I want to continue going so I don't forget some other stuff. So that's some of the things you're going to have posted. Like I said, we covered the other stuff in the previous video when I was just going over everything that you're going to need prior to your inspection. Another thing that they're going to be looking for is your nurse's information, their license, all their documentation, their background check. So you're going to have a file for your nurse, a file for your manager, whether that's going to be you or somebody else, and a file for your alternate manager. And they're going to need all of their license, all of their health information, all of their license, their health information, and their background check. So those three things are going to go. You're going to have those three, at least 3 folders for your staff. That's what they're going to be looking for. They're going to also be looking for your what else? It's another file that they're looking for. So your file, or the manager's file, your alternate manager's file, and your nurse's file. What else did they because we just did the inspection. I don't want to forget anything. But overall, the property, what she was looking for in the property, most importantly, and then she was really what we had to update was the fire policies. So she's going to look through your policies and procedures. She's going to be looking for the fire policies and the tornado policies. You're going to need a first aid kits, and then you're gonna have so you can have 2 first aid kits, and then like an emergency kit with water, enough for however many residents you're gonna have. So my client is getting 6 residents, so she has to have enough food, water, blanket, first aid to last 3 days in that emergency kit. So we got like a big tub, with the cover on it, and put all of that stuff in there. So water, canned foods, can opener, flashlight, batteries, blankets, and I think that was it. Oh, and a battery powered radio. So these are the things you're going to definitely need to have in your kit. You want to make sure there's no belongings in any of the rooms. So like they want to make sure the closets are empty, all the drawers are empty, and it's pretty much ready for a resident when they come for the inspection. What else can I think of right offhand? Thermometers in the refrigerator for the temperature. So you got, if you don't have your refrigerator, it doesn't come with thermometers. You put a thermometer in the refrigerator, and you put a thermometer in the freezer. They're going to check the water. The water temperature is a big deal. That's a very big deal. They want it to be between 100 degrees and 120 degrees. It can't be no higher than 120 degrees. That's something that you will get. You know, they will not give you a license until you have that water under control. So if you have a plumber or you know how to do it yourself or you need to Google it, you know, you want to make sure you figure that out before they come. And well, the thing that was most important, you know, beyond everything was important, but the thing that they were really serious about was your employee file. Oh, and the resident file. That's what I was trying to think. I knew it was your employee, your nurse's file, your residence file, and all the documents that you're going to have for your resident per every residence file. They want to see like a mock resident file, all of the manager's information, all of the nurses' information, all the alternate managers' information in the residence file. That was the thing. That's what I was trying to remember. So, overall, the furnishings and nothing like in the way, no carpets or like throw rugs or I mean, if you have carpet, that's one thing, but like area rugs that can be moved and shift around, those are the fall hazards. So you definitely want to have those out the way. Numbers on your doors, evacuation route. You got to have another. That's another sign that you have to have posted. The evacuation route by your front door. So like right offhand, I think I covered pretty much of the main things. And if I didn't, I'll update this video. But I just wanted to come on here real quick and give you guys that. Why, you know, since it was fresh in my brain, we just did it. And I just wanted to let you guys know what we experienced. So you have the most update information of what to expect on the Maryland survey for a residential assisted living.